First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Summerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures, I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me. Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work? Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Summerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
Find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon. Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
Bara, Caravel. How can a humble merchant help so exalted a personage on this fine and fine day? The Divine? Did a justiciar send you to harass me? I've lived in Summerset my whole life, and I did nothing wrong. You high elves, you say we're welcome, and then you treat us like criminals. Is there any wonder I had to speak out? After I filled out all the proper forms and arranged to bring my cousin here, the ship arrived and they carted all the newcomers away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady, but what has it profited me? Nothing! Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old dark's right. Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from. We don't want them here.
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered, Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Olnewell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Solza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the kin lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was. and I'm not sure I want to know.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... you say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz always pays his debts, and he always buys the drinks.
Gold and drinks? Well, my relief should be along soon, so why not?
Oh, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldark brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why does a newly arrived High Elf care about the complexities of Summerset bureaucracy? Still, if I had to guess, I'd say they were taking into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldark has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stalked you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldark and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldark acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers.
Are you lost? You can't be in here.
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there.
Thank the
See if you can help her.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Is that a scoffin?
Setting me free.
A Daedra. Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Rite Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Summerset. My inquiries led me here. The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all of this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here. Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Oldar. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijik mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avenice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters. Yes. So you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with Aldark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly. How dare you barge into my home without so much as a by your leave? I'm sorry, Kerem, but I have no time for petitions or solicitations today. I have important work to get back to. Perhaps you can talk to my cousin. She's the Canon Reeve of our fair city. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended.
He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Olduk's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous. Ulduk Tikala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Ulduk himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Ulduk's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she is not a murderer. This new Uldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Uldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Sijik Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Uldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valserin of the Sijik Order, and I agree that the Uldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
One of Summerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Uldark asked King Lady Avanis to meet him out here. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra! Help!
Come, Nebara! Dagra! Destroy these!
Go after the king. You deal with the old. Razumdar apprehended the kin lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Aldok Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldok. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Right Master Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Right Master leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment and there, you are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The Kin Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation.
You can't treat me
Queen
like some sort of criminal, you horrid creature.
Queen Irene will be disappointed that the Kin Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sijic Sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razumdar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes? Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Strange news on the road from
May I...
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldoc's plot on Summerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valserin to investigate. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the pearl Valserin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valserin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valserin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories. While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sotha Seal's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha Seal's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
You must be the adventurer that Valserin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Rite Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Rite Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valserin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valserin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valserin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls.
Ah, this one has... Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relenthiel, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canonry Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Drat! Which one could he possibly be?
You would...
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating. For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals. I suppose 2 high elves and a well-dressed Khajiit can be trusted. Take a look around and let me know if you find anything significant. I just wish my son Nadoril would stay away from there. He's become so intense lately. A phase, I'm sure.
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate the sinkhole.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
I think we can enter through these roots. That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about an Adoral and an attack? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthal. It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure into the Court of Bedlam's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching Relenthal get swallowed by a sinkhole. Let's proceed and find out what's going on down here. The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you. Yagra creatures. Be careful. The size of this place. It's almost as if someone dug up through the island. I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Is someone there? Help! Please help! Crazy bastard stabbed me! God, this hurts! It was just kind of fun, joining the Court of Bedlam, espousing the virtues of our Ultima heritage. But Nadoral, he took things too far. When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Nadoral objected, called me unworthy. That's when he stabbed me.
The Court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since, well, It's been centuries at least. A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. I can't think of anything worse than an alliance between those foul beasts and Daedric cultists. The slode are a godless people, perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible. They could certainly have a connection to the sea slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn to them. I'll head for the sea slode. You deal with those abyssal pearls.
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there.
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea slode disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being, let's see what's through that opening. The sea slode left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature.
Hurry, this... Somehow Raz knew he'd find you.
Sea sloths. This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artaeum after you talk to the Queen's Eye.
Did the pretty Sijik say sea sloth? No. Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said. Sloth? That's bad. And sea sloth? That sounds even worse. If the sea sloth threatens Summerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait. What did you say about the Cannon Reeve's son? Daedra worshippers. In Summerset. And Sloth. Oh, Raz likes this situation less and less. As for Nedoril, Raz knows how to deal with traitors. This one will meet you at the Cannon Reeve's house.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye? How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my words. Sea Sloth? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Cannon Reeve of Relenthil. I took an oath to serve and protect my community. How in the Queen's name am I supposed to reconcile my son's actions? Oh, Nedoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy. I'm sure we can find a way to resolve this without... Oh, here comes Nedoril now.
To a god!
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nedoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention of the executioner's blade? Raz decided that a message had to be sent. Enemies of the Queen will not be tolerated. Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. A necessary part of my job, yes. No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You should return to Artaeum and let the Sijiks know what we learned. I tell you, Five Claw, this whole situation makes Raz want to hiss.
Friend of Valseren, I have a proposal for you.
Ah, friend of Valseren. I've been informed that you encountered a sea slode in a sinkhole beneath Relenthiel. That bodes ill for Summerset, perhaps all of Nirn. I fear there are difficult days ahead. I'm familiar with that particular sea slode and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Valseren mentioned you encountered more in the sinkhole. Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague recollection of Katora utilizing such creatures in the past, but for some reason, the memories refuse to snap into focus. I suppose that's another mystery I'll need to look into. The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. For now, you have my thanks for assisting Valseren. I asked the Conclave of the 11 Forces to ponder how we can learn more from the Abyssal Pearl. With the additional information you provided, I expect that Iridel or Amalira will be able to develop a new avenue of investigation now. The augury ritual revealed the connection to the Court of Bedlam and pointed to trouble in Relenthiel. Now we need to determine where Katora and the Sea Slodes are hiding. The Abyssal Pearl should be able to point us in the right direction. Meet me in the main gallery. We can consult with the rest of the Conclave and use the scrying pool to continue our probe of the Pearl. As much as this situation concerns me, I must admit, I somewhat enjoy being in the middle of the action again.
Right, Master. The Abyssal Pearl. It's gone.
Gone? How? I set the protections personally.
How could the Abyssal Pearl disappear like that? It makes no sense. A few hours ago, we left it in the scrying pool in the main gallery while the members of the Conclave of the 11 Forces went to deal with other matters of importance. When I returned, I immediately noticed that the pearl was missing. Yes, that's standard procedure when dealing with an unknown relic. But that just makes the pearl's disappearance more troubling. Something about this feels wrong.
See what the scrying pool reveals. There's something happening on the beach.
It's the Yagra. They're invading Artaeum.
The Pearl. Somehow it was used to summon the Yagra. We need to defend the beach.
Wait, is that a sword?
That would be mine. I'm on my way to help. Eventually.
The Golden Knight and his sword can wait. The Yagra are our primary concern. The scrying pool revealed that Yagra have invaded our island. They must have somehow used the Abyssal Pearl to open a pathway. We need to get down to the beach and repel the invaders. The Sea Sloat have always been envious of Artaeum and its secrets. From the beach, they can reach the ruins of the College of Sigix, where we store relics and other items of arcane significance. If the Sea Sloat acquire any of those artifacts, that's a mystery we can solve after we deal with the immediate problem. We need to get down to the beach, destroy the Pearl, and close the Yagra's portal. Will you aid me in these endeavors?
Follow the right, Master. I'll portal myself and meet you there.
My word, the vision showed us the Dawnbreaker. I'm almost positive.
Let me accompany you.
You need to rally the others. Your friend and I should be able to handle this. We can reach the beach through this section of the old college. Hurry, this way. Before we charge into certain danger, you need to know something isn't right. I remember defeating Katora, but somehow the creature and its cabal have returned. And the pearl, I have a vague memory of moving it myself. I am unsettled. That's just it. The vague memory. It feels as though it belongs to someone else. Forgive me. We can worry about that later. Now, we need to find the Abyssal Pearl and cut off its connection to Artaeum. Only then can we stop the flow of Yagra. Very good. After the Pearl is destroyed, we need to search the vaults and make sure none of the creatures breach the defenses. I tried to examine the area through the scrying pool, but something blocked my efforts. Are you ready to proceed? There's the Pearl. Destroy it and close that portal. This way! Hurry! These ancient vaults house relics of great power and unusual nature. I sense... Yes, Katora is here. Be on your guard, friend of Valserin. The Sea Slode, or one of its agents. I have a strange feeling, so be on your guard. I can think of a number of likely candidates, including a few relics we believe originated in the ancient Sea Slode kingdom of Ulverkus. Let's get to the central rotunda and begin our search there. Mephalah's Daedra! They sealed the chamber! We'll need to go through them.
Mefalah has sealed this place, mortal flea!
Barrier of webs. Burn it away so we can enter the rotunda. Another Daedric intrusion?
My apologies. Daedric interference and Artaeum's own defenses delayed my arrival. Mephalah's webs? Ah, I hate those things! Allow me. Damn it! You found me again! I'll return when I can!
A champion of Meridia? At least he was helpful. Katora? I killed you.
You remember exactly what I want you to remember. And thanks to the orbs of Brock and Drell, your deepest memories will be mine. Backworm, this does not concern the likes of you.
Out here, quickly. We need to hurry if we're going to help the Right Master. It's a good thing I followed you after I alerted the rest of the Conclave. I think I can counteract Katora's mind magic, but I'll need your help. Katora is using the power of the orbs of Barakandrel to enhance his mind magic and lock the Right Master in a mental grip. From what I can discern, the Sea Slode is flipping through his memories as you or I would turn the pages of a book. An ancient implement. 3 matched orbs that our Relic Master believes originated in the Sea of Pearls. We long suspected they were connected to the Sea Slode. Katora thinks the power of the relic will keep us from interfering, but I have an idea. Take this ward key. It will disable the protections on the repositories so you can locate the Ulvor staff and bring it to me. I can use the staff to breach the barrier and aid the Right Master. Just watch out for any lingering Yagra.
your mind is my mind, Aegetus. Reveal your memories to me.
We're running out of time. Whatever the Sea Sloat searches for in the Right Master's mind, I believe it is close to finding it. Have you brought me the Ulvor staff? Excellent. And it appears to be in perfect condition. With the staff, I'm certain I can pierce the barrier and open a path to the Mindscape, where the Right Master struggles against Keturah. Not we. You. I need to remain here to anchor you to the physical world. And you're going into Keturah's mind. We'll use the connection between them to put you where you can actually hurt the Sea Sloat within its own mindscape. Keturah's mindscape is the perfect place to hurt the Sea Sloat. It's where he's most vulnerable. In a place where thoughts become reality, you'll be able to stop Keturah once and for all. Now touch the staff, and go save the Right Master. Touch the Ulvor staff, and enter the Mindscape.
You dare enter my domain, worm?
To reveal each protected memory, you'll weaken Keturah and learn something at the same time.
A bargain is a bargain. The island for the heart of transparent law.
Yes, just as we agreed. But only a portion of the crystal. We don't want to alert the Sapiarchs too soon.
Tell your fellow princes all will be well. The Right Master is no match for my mind magic.
So Nocturnal has assured me. Don't disappoint us, Keturah.
for one purpose, worm.
Your abyssal cabal may defeat me, but you'll never stand against the entire Sigigor.
Once again you fail to grasp the obvious. When the time is right, you will do exactly as I command. Until then, forget.
The right master's waking up. You need to press on.
You shall be eradicated. Forgotten.
Repeat my words, worm. Tell me what you must do.
I will enter the Crystal Tower. I will take the heart of transparent law.
Yes. Yes. Hide it away until I call for you to give it to me. Not even the princes must know where it is.
Hide the heart.
My memory shields! You destroyed them! Feel the crushing weight of your own insignificance!
Katura's mind. It's shutting down. I'm taking the right master back to his study. You need to get out of there. Use the staff to exit the mindscape.
A sea slode. Interesting. I haven't dissected such a specimen in an exceedingly long unit of temporal measurement. Valserin took the Right Master to Kapora Tower to administer to his wounds. Luckily for you, I arrived in time to help Valserin open a path out of the Slode's dying mind. What did you learn before the mindscape collapsed? Yes, I surmised as much. The triad of Daedric princes has become bold in its attempts to influence Nern, though influence seems to be the least of their goals. The Slode, however, was unable to harvest whatever memory it sought from the Right Master. That revelation disturbs me. I feared the Crystal Tower was too tempting a target for the Daedric triad. I need to ponder the full implications of their plot. Meanwhile, I suggest you go to Kapora Tower and see how the Right Master is faring.
wish, right, Master. I shall travel to Lilundril immediately.
And I'll send word to the Eye of the Queen.
I owe you a debt of gratitude, friend of Valserin. What the two of you did to help me, that was a step beyond. Thank you. And it seems you accomplished what I have failed to do. You ended the threat of Keturah. Keturah tricked me in the past, made me remember a victory I never won. Then he planted a compulsion, forced me to steal the heart of transparent law from the Crystal Tower. Apparently I hid it and forgot about it. He sought that memory. The Crystal Tower stands as a mystical protection for Summerset. Transparent law, a crystal at the top of the tower, serves as its source of power. With the heart removed from the crystal, the protection provided by the tower slowly weakens. Yes, a smaller gem that had been embedded in the larger crystal. If the Daedric princes acquire the heart, they could take control of the Crystal Tower. Valserin and Oriandra will warn Summerset, while I try to remember where I hid the heart. You helped me remember my true encounter with Keturah and his Abyssal Cabal. I remember how they defeated me 300 years ago, compelled me to do their bidding, made me forget. For now, I need solitude to seek the memories that still elude me. Perhaps the Psijic sages can help me remember where I hid the heart of transparent law. At least you stopped Keturah before the Sea Slope gained that knowledge. In the meantime, we must warn the Sapiarchs of the threat to the Crystal Tower. The Sapiarchs are Summerset's foremost scholars. They are the keepers of the Crystal Tower and the custodians of the College of Sapiarchs. Among their many responsibilities, they have trained every heir who ever sat upon Alinor's throne. I sent Valserin to Lilandril, where the College of Sapiarchs is located, to scout the area and see if the Court of Bedlam has made any moves against them. I need you to travel to Alinor to secure the Proxy Queen's permission to enter the college. My actions have weakened the Crystal Tower and endangered Summerset. I hate to think what else that foul creature forced me to do with its powerful mind magic. Forgive my musings. I'll send word to Alinor so that the Proxy Queen knows to expect you. While we have never been formally introduced, the Proxy Queen is quite familiar with the reputation of the Psijic Order and its Right Master. She will adhere to the ancient dictates and provide the assistance we need in this matter.
have said. The proxy queen is unable to hold an audience with petitioners at this time. There are other affairs that
A new face in the court, and how pleasant and interesting it is. We do appreciate the return of our brothers and sisters to the Blessed Isle, even if our nobles count you among the other newcomers. Now then, what business brings you to the palace? The Sidic Order? We have not heard from that body of august sages in quite some time, and then word comes that we should expect a visitor. Why does the Right Master send you to see the Sapiarchs? Speak true if you want our assistance in this matter. Ah, the business that Razumdal spoke of. We assumed the Queen's cat exaggerated. He does purr as well as he growls. Very well. We'll send word to Lilandril to give you access to the college. Just tell the Right Master we expect to see him soon. Of course. We have nothing else to do but talk about the many wonders of the Blessed Isle. Let us tell you all about the Sapiarchs, the divine prosecution, Ultima recipes, and perhaps even the schedule of performance for the House of Revelers. You do? It's good we consider you as charming as you are interesting. The Sapiarchs teach us and guide us, bringing their knowledge to every part of Ultima society. Their compound in Lilandril serves as the seat of their college. Of course, and we shall alert the Portal Master to accommodate you. Once inside, seek out Lana Teal, Sapiarch of Arcanology. She leads the college and should hear the Right Master's warning. For an Ultima, you have much to learn, newcomer.
The news from the Queen's Eye. Could it really be true?
Honestly, I think she plans to do something rash. She might even attack the guards. Ugh.
What do you want?
Some of the stories...
How can I help?
Stay strong, Emil. I'll get you out of this.
Secure the prisoner in the Fighters Guild. Off you go.
I've checked over Lilendrill from top to bottom, and there's no sign of the Court of Bedlam. I can't get the Portal Master to let me go to the college compound, though. Have you brought permission from the Proxy Queen? Good, good. I was about to turn that insignificant book dust into something small, wet, and slimy. It would have made matters worse, but it might have brightened the dark mood I've been in. Sorry, I don't mean to burden you with my troubles. No, the mission is more important than personal matters. I'm sure Lathan will turn up, eventually. In the meantime, you should talk to the Portal Master and see if she's ready to grant us access to the college. Lathan and I met when we were initiates of the Sijic Order. We fell in love and married, had a daughter. We had all the things we ever wanted. And then everything changed. After we lost our daughter, Lathan grew distant, more subdued. It happened ages ago, after a long illness. We lived on an island filled with the most accomplished sages of our age, and there was nothing that could be done. We tried. I tried. But the illness took her in the end. Lathan was never the same. No, it wasn't like that. When the Right Master first learned of the possible Daedric threat, Lathan volunteered to look into it. We both thought it would be good for Lathan to get away, give him something to occupy his time. Then he disappeared. Lathan's reports became less frequent. Then he stopped sending them altogether. I'd know if he was dead, but he could be a prisoner or hurt. My main concern right now is the threat posed by the Daedric princes. Lathan will have to wait.
Not now, please. I really must prepare for tonight's lecture. Besides, only those with permission may enter the College of Sapiarchs. We can't have just anyone wandering around the compound. So the compound has been... Not now, please. So you're the luminary the Proxy Queen wants me to treat with kid gloves. And I suppose the arrogant Sijic is with you? Oh, very well. Let's get this over with. The compound has been purposely isolated to serve as a sanctuary and place of study. Research and scholarship require solitude and quiet, after all. We use magic to travel back and forth. I'll prepare the portal dais when you're ready to cross. Just follow me and step onto the dais. By the 7 sacred texts! Who has dared invade this place of learning?
I've got this. You talk to that sapiarch.
This is unheard of. Attacked in our own sanctuary? This is terrible. Please excuse my present state, as I am distraught beyond all rational thought. I never imagined that Daedra would attack our compound. It's madness. Forgive my lapse in protocol. I am Elamil, sapiarch of Daedric fallacies. Happened? Oh, it isn't over yet. There was no warning. Daedra filled the compound. So many great minds cut down. We were able to clear the courtyard, but there's more inside. I fear for the safety of the head sapiarch and our other sages. The Crystal Tower? You need to speak to Lanatil, sapiarch of archanology and head of our college. She's trapped inside with those monsters. I suggest you enter through the labyrinth beneath the compound. Just watch out for the Daedra.
According to the maps I studied, the labyrinth is this way.
I'll return to Lilondrel and warn the guards.
Good idea. Perhaps I should accompany you.
There's more to this than a simple Daedric incursion. I felt a strange sensation when we arrived. A sense of urgency. We need to hurry and find the trapped sapiarchs. Sometimes. Probably has something to do with living on a displaced island and being part of the Sijic Order. We knew the 3 Daedric princes were a threat. But this is our first clear evidence of their hostile intent. Even scholars have ways to defend themselves. Which reminds me, I can protect myself, but I'm not much good in a raging battle. I'll try to stay behind you and keep out of the way. Now, let's hurry and go save the sapiarchs. like to explore this compound one day, when fewer Daedra are about, of course.
I smell something delicious. Something awfully close.
To reach the upper levels through there. This way. I hear voices up ahead.
No more sages need die today, Sapiarch. Just give me the diamond keys.
The resolute diamonds are not mine to give, especially not to a Daedric cultist. Lathan, stop!
Valcerin, no, damn you!
You and your companion arrived in the proverbial nick of time. Now, if you wouldn't mind, who in Oblivion are you, and how did you know the College of Sapiarchs was under assault? First, the cultist leads an army of Daedra into our compound and demands I turn over the Resolute Diamonds. Now, you arrive with a warning from the long-absent sages of Artaeum. I think you need to explain yourself before we go any further. That's impossible. We would know if the tower's defenses had been breached. But it would explain the disasters currently befalling the Summerset Isle. Let's say I believe you. What does the Right Master suggest as the next step? A reasonable plan, but access to the tower requires the Resolute Diamonds, which are guarded by the tower's sentinels. Only they can use the keys. I suppose they are the next targets. We need to warn Hanail and Imidril at the Illumination Academy. We appreciate your aid in this matter. Before you head to the Illumination Academy, perhaps you can have your friend get that cultist out of my compound. As it is, it's going to take weeks to get rid of the stench of Daedra. Let's leave these Psijics to their work. We have a college to put back together.
You there. Tell my darling wife to release me, and I'll ask Mathala to kill you quickly when the new age dawns. Spinner saved me from fools and altruistic adventurers. Valserin turned her back on me and my daughter a long time ago. Is it any wonder I've found acceptance and a purpose among the court of Bedlam? Don't presume to judge my actions, you insignificant flea. I am an earl in the court of Bedlam now, chosen personally by Mathala to represent her on this all-too-fragile world. Leave me. I'm done speaking to you now.
I can't believe I was concerned about the welfare of my husband. To find Lathan here, threatening the Sapiox and leading a horde of Daedra. How could he betray the Order like that? How could he betray me? A simple spell of binding. His attention was so focused on the Sapiox, he wasn't prepared to deal with another Psijic mage. While you go and find the Tower Sentinels at the Illumination Academy, I'll take Lathan back to Artaeum. I almost hope he gives me a little trouble. I could use a reason to unleash some pain and suffering on this turncoat. Don't worry. My spell will hold until we reach the confines of Kapora Tower.
Only a select few.
Attention! Class is now in session.
Five Claw. You always arrive just when Raz needs you most. After Raz spoke to the pretty Sijik Oriandra, whispers reached me about the illustrious Illumination Academy. They said that the Court of Bedlam hunts a Sapiarch there, so Raz had to come and see. Didn't expect all the crazy people, though. So the Crystal Tower really is in danger. This one finds that so hard to believe. The Crystal Tower, it's a bastion, a symbol of everything the High Elves hold dear. The Queen would be very cross with Raz if anything bad happened to the tower. Now Raz sees why the Court of Bedlam seeks these particular sages. Very well. No need to twist this one's tail. Raz will help you save the Sapiarchs from the demented Daedric cultists. Let's look in the guest wing on the west side of the compound. This way. Follow Raz.
What is that approaching? Some strange sea beast. Prepare to be boarded, mates.
New arrivals? I wasn't told to expect any students or scholars today. Sorry, they usually let me know when new academics are going to arrive. I'm sure I can find a way to squeeze you in someplace. How long do you plan on staying? Sure. They arrived a few days ago, but only Sapiarch Hanael stayed. She's working on a book of some sort. I think that's what she told me. Don't know where the other one scampered off to. She hasn't been back to her room in quite a while, though. Wouldn't think so. She left all her things in her room. Notes, valuable tomes. Not the sorts of items a sage would leave behind. Maybe she just got caught up in the nonsense outside. You can examine her room if you like. It's right over there.
The Sapiarch's letter. She's hidden a coded message in the words. Raz has seen this done before. Hanael mentions something isn't right here, that she plans to hide in a quiet room. Very smart. It seems the Sapiarch knows that someone is hunting her. The list of specific books in a specific order, though. That's the key, Raz thinks. We need to find the books and the podiums, if Raz has deciphered the meaning of her code correctly. Let's hope we can find her before the Court of Bedlam does. That is disturbing news. The Queen hates Daedric machinations, especially the most overt ones. Let us hurry and try to find the Sapiarch. astonishing bookcase. Raz likes this clever sage.
My illusion spell. Who are you? If you're the person that's been following me, I warn you, I'll scream. I knew I wasn't imagining things. I told Imidril that we were being followed. If the head of the College of Sapiarchs sent you and told you we guarded the Resolute Diamonds, it must be a serious matter. Something involving the other alliances? Daedric princes, you say? As in more than one? That doesn't sound very good. Imidril went to King's Haven, not too far from here. The old ruins. He loves to poke around in that place every chance he gets. But I'm still a bit confused.
Raz will explain things to the pretty Sapiarch and make sure she returns safely to Lilandril. You go find the one in the ruins.
No! Stay back! Foul beast!
Hail, mighty warrior!
Don't let it take me!
No worries. I've got you. I think. You there! Burn the webs! Quickly! Quickly! Mephalla's damn webbing. It's in all my nooks and crannies. Thanks for helping, though. No! Save the Dawnstar gem!
The spider poison, it's spreading fast. Take this. Resolute diamond. Don't let the Golden Knight's sacrifice be in vain. Then you know we're Tower Sentinels. Guardians of the diamond keys that open the Crystal Tower. Please, make sure my diamond remains safe. Mephala, Prince of the Secret Arts. She sought my diamond, but also seemed very interested in the Golden Knight. I fear she's taken him to the Spiral Skein. Tell Hanaya I'm sorry.
Ah, there you are. The Right Master needs you back in Artaeum immediately. Find him in Kapora Tower as soon as you can.
before.
Speak.
Thank you for returning so promptly. Before we get to other matters, tell me about your search for the Tower Sentinels. Valcerin recounted the events at the College of Sapiox after she returned with Lathan. But I'm eager to hear your report. Mephala, curse her name. Along with her cohorts, Clavicus Vile and Nocturnal, she corrupted Lathan and threatens all of Nirn. But the Sapiox no longer have an attuned pair of key-bearers. That will make it harder to access the Crystal Tower. That Golden Knight is one of Meridia's champions, I believe. It seems that one Daedric prince is trying to help us. That gem is the Dawn Star, from the Dawnbreaker sword. Why take the knight prisoner, though? What are the princes playing at here? Meridia is the Daedric Prince of Life and Light, and the matron of the Colored Rooms. She isn't part of the Triad of Princes. Indeed, it seems that she has specifically sent her champion to oppose them. We'll need to keep that in mind as we proceed. Oh, yes. Without 2 attuned Tower Sentinels, the Sapiox can't use the Diamond Keys to open the way to the Crystal Tower. The attuning process usually takes a year and a day, and I have no idea if they can hasten the process. It involves my missing memories. I've recalled an important detail, and I need to show it to you. For now, let me compensate you for your efforts so far. I appreciate your help in all this. While you were gone, I have been scrying through my own memories, trying to find the missing events that will remind me where I hid the heart of transparent law. I believe I have discovered something significant. Not exactly. While scrying through my memories, I saw half-formed thoughts and splintered recollections. I saw myself enter the Dreaming Cave beneath Kapora Tower, and I held the heart of transparent law in my hands. I opened a portal, but I can't recall where it went. Something intentionally blocked the destination from my sight. I entered the portal, and time passed. Then I was back in the cave, and the heart was gone. Will you accompany me to the Dreaming Cave? The answer to where I hid the heart of transparent law resides in the Dreaming Cave. Or, more precisely, through the portal I opened and once traversed. But therein lies the problem. It's best if I showed you. Meet me in the cave beneath this tower. Valcerin refuses to leave Lathan's side. She's trying to get him to explain how he could forsake our order and pledge himself to a Daedric prince. I hope she can see her way through this. We're going to need her before all is said and done. That's not my tale to tell. They both rose through the ranks of our order together. Fell in love, had a child. The rest, well, that's personal. I still find it difficult to believe that the Lathan I know could betray us.